From dying from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to passing away due to eating too much, here is one star from every season of My 600 Pound Life that has died so far. Starting with Henry Foots, who made his appearance on the first season of the show, weighing well above 700 pounds. But unlike many who came in later seasons, Henry wasn't in denial. Despite being so morbidly obese, he followed the diet, showed up for every appointment, exercised regularly, and the results came fast.
Henry is doing extremely well. I expect he's gonna lose 500 pounds in 2 years' time.
Within months, Henry had lost enough weight to qualify for both gastric bypass and skin removal surgery. Now, everything seemed to be going perfectly, but that's exactly when things started to go wrong. Shortly after his skin removal surgery, something terrifying happened.
After that night, my heart stopped beating. I actually died.
That sounds like it's just like having an out-of-body experience. If that was to like take me to heaven, I wasn't ready for it because there's so much going on here.
But despite all the challenges, he was finally able to achieve his ideal weight, going from a staggering 715 to 275 pounds in a couple of years. Henry eventually weighed 275 pounds, which was very impressive considering what he originally weighed. He was finally able to return to his job as a bus driver after years away due to his weight, but shortly after, he was involved in a tragic accident where he lost control of the shuttle and struck a pedestrian, resulting in a death. Foots lost control near the intersection and crashed into an SUV before continuing on and hitting Blake as she stood in the corner. Police also identified Henry James Foots, 54, as the driver of the shuttle bus involved in the crash. What was supposed to be a victory lap for him turned out to be a complete disaster. It's not confirmed whether the accident had anything to do with Henry's death, but he died shortly after at the age of 54. Only a year later, in May 2013, My 600 Pound Life's Henry passed away at 54 years old. It was a heartbreaking ending to one of the show's most disciplined and kind-hearted participants. I cried just as hard every time I watched the episode of Henry Foots on My 600 Pound Life. Henry's death broke my heart. Henry's story was one of the earliest to end in tragedy, but he wouldn't be the last, as later seasons revealed even more shocking outcomes. And while there has been no reported death in season 2, Laura Perez from season 3 had an equally unexpected death. When Laura's episode on My 600 Pound Life was aired, she weighed a little over 590 pounds, barely being able to walk or do things on her own. Her biggest challenge wasn't just the weight, it was her family of enablers. Even Dr. Now didn't have much hope in the beginning.
Laura is at her limit, and the family is the one pushing her there. She carries an oxygen tank with her because she can no longer breathe on her own. She's physically in one of the worst shape I've seen.
But she proved otherwise with her rapid weight loss and better eating habits, as Laura was able to drop a little over 50 pounds, qualifying for her weight loss surgery. But not too long after the surgery, things took a wrong turn.
Laura's family says she hasn't been feeling well, but never came to the hospital. It looked like she has pneumonia, and it is pretty severe. We got her just in time to keep her alive, but it's not looking good right now. She's very close to dying.
Thankfully, she survived and went on to lose even more weight, and by the end of her episode, she had dropped a staggering 237 pounds. And even after the cameras stopped rolling, Laura didn't stop. She kept going, eventually shrinking down to just 182 pounds. However, her success was short-term, as not too long after her episode aired, on November 17th, 2021, Laura passed away due to unknown causes. But given her history, many fans speculated such an ending. She looked to have had success and began to participate in living her life. Unfortunately, some of the effects of supermorbid obesity cannot be reversed with surgery. While Laura's death was quite shocking and unexpected, Sha Milin from season 4 had it coming right from the start. Weighing over 900 pounds, Sean was one of the biggest stars on the show. With his body so obese, his skin had literally started tearing apart, developing massive open sores and rashes. measures. But even after experiencing so many complications, his addiction had gotten to such an extreme level that his life completely revolved around food.
I don't know what tomorrow will bring, but at least I know food is there.
This was a terrible state to be in for Sean, considering he was only 26 years old. But the worst part is how both him and his mum were ignorant of how bad the situation really was.
The last calories that I was trying to get him at was approximately 2,500 a day. We were 2,500 a day, yeah.
You know what we do?
What?
Keep them at 800.
That's fine. We know what we're getting into, yeah.
And the reality is, Sean must be taking in at least 20 to 30,000 calories a day. And that is because his mother bringing it to him.
Fans even accused his mother, Renee, for infantilizing him and feeding him to death. I blame Renee the most. She clearly infantilized Sean and did him no favors. Still, Sean had his own choices to answer for.
Sean is so big right now, he cannot make it to the waiting room door. He's worse off now, and he looked like he maybe put another 50 to 100 pounds on.
Even with professional help, therapy, and Dr. Now's strict diet plans, Sean refused to make meaningful progress. And when Renee passed away, his last emotional support was gone too. Not long after, in February 2019, the inevitable happened. Sha Milin passed away from a skin infection at the age of 29. He died from complications of an infection. While Sean's eating habits and terrible health conditions still brought him a bit of compassion from the viewers, James' story in season 5 struck a very different chord, leaving them conflicted. Honestly, I'm shocked he even lived this long. From the beginning, he weighed 800 pounds, and it looked like he was running out of time. His extreme eating habits and disregard for his condition led to total physical decline. He suffered from severe cellulitis and had massively swollen legs as his body began to shut down. Despite repeated warnings and worsening health, James continued to binge eat with no signs of accountability. He increased his food intake even while fully aware of the risks. At one point, he was consuming 10,000 calories a day, over 13 times the recommended amount. What's even worse is how James was mindful of where he was taking his body, but he was too much into his addiction that he himself could not control where he was heading.
Me dying in this bed one night, it's not an if, it's a when.
Things had got to such an extent that Dr. Now warned James that he had little time left to improve his health if he were to live any longer.
Everything is stable, but your body is barely functioning. If you continue with this path that you're doing right now, I don't think you're gonna live more than a month or two.
Which soon proved to be right, as not long after that appointment, James was rushed to the hospital after experiencing symptoms of congestive heart failure. Due to his extreme weight, doctors had to insert tubes directly into an artery in his throat to ensure medication reached his heart without delay. Despite the severity of his condition and repeated warnings from Dr. Now, James continued to ignore medical advice. Shortly after the episode aired, James passed away at the age of 49. According to official sources, he died from complications related to septic shock and kidney failure, saying he has been suffering, but now he is no longer in pain. However, considering James's attitude towards his diet, he had it coming all along, with viewers saying how they were not even surprised that he died. While James King was disliked even after his death, Season 6 featured LB Boner's passing, another loss that deeply affected many fans of the show. Unlike many stars of the show, LB Boner was well liked by viewers for his optimism and determination to lose weight. Featured in Season 6 of the show, he weighed over 600 pounds when the episode initially aired. But despite his outward progress, LB was quietly battling serious mental health challenges that few viewers were aware of.
And there's always a possibility I won't wake up. So I'm trying not to think about it right now. Because if I think about it too much, I may end up chickening out.
With him completely isolating himself from his family and claiming himself to be a huge disappointment for them, he even went as far as saying, "These are days where I feel so worthless. I think I'd be better off in the ground, so I just stay home." However, that pain was not just because of his weight, but also partially because of his prosthetic leg. James's slight overeating first began when he lost a dear aunt he was quite close to as a child. He slowly started gaining weight and eventually also developed an addiction to alcohol. James spiraled deeper into his food addiction because of his mental health issues.
I got a bad habit of binge eating, binge drinking, eating real late at night.
But surprisingly enough, he put in more effort into losing weight than any other star on the show, and he was able to shed a massive amount of his weight, qualifying for the weight loss surgery.
I'm happy with that. I knew I was doing well, but that's a little better than I thought.
But this still couldn't save him from what was to come for him next. After the show ended, James continued to struggle with his mental health, making a post on his Facebook account saying how he was fighting his demons head on. Shortly after he made this post, the news of his death surfaced on the internet. James was found in a ditch with a gunshot wound on his head. I'm so sad he took his own life. He seems like a really good guy. According to the lawsuit, obtained exclusively by Starcasm, Boner's physical and mental health suffered post-surgery, but producers allegedly offered little resistance. Due to the rapid weight loss and lack of sufficient aftercare, LB's teeth became loose and some fell out. His vision became impaired and he suffered from general malaise. He continued to suffer both psychologically and physically, and the show continued the pressure, which is indeed extremely concerning and should have been dealt with promptly. LB Boner's death was not a tragedy, but a reminder that progress isn't always peace. And while his story raised serious questions about the show's aftercare and psychological toll, the next season introduced a participant whose challenges went even deeper. Destiny Lashi appeared on season 7 of the show, weighing well above 600 pounds when the episode aired.
My situation is at a breaking point. I need to get help. I need to be able to lose this weight, or they're gonna be burying me next. Because I don't think I could live till next year being this big.
Destiny's journey was unlike anyone else's. She was the first transgender and openly gay person to appear on the show. Throughout her episode, Destiny opened up about the mental health struggles she'd been dealing with for years.
And at this point, I'm not even sure I can stop all of this from getting even worse. I never thought that I would actually get to be over 600 pounds.
She started treating her food addiction as a way to cope with her stress, and she even stated, "I feel like all I'm constantly doing is just trying to escape all my depression and pain at this point, and food is the only thing I have to turn to do that." On top of her already fragile mental health, Destiny was so overwhelmed by the grief of her brother's death that she resorted to something really drastic.
And it caused an aneurysm that killed him. He ended up dying in my arms at home. When they couldn't save him, I just tried to kill myself because I just wanted to go join them.
Once she was on the show, her mental state made it hard to stay consistent, but things began to shift once she started taking her weight loss more seriously.
I told one of my old friends what I'm trying to do, and I asked her if she'd start doing my walks with me. So she's been coming over every day to do that with me. And we just walked down the road and back. The first week was the hardest, but I can go further now, and it's nice to feel that progress.
Seeing her incredible progress, Dr. now approved her for surgery.
You didn't hit your goal, but I think you're showing me you're not giving up and that you're working at this. So at this point, I think we're gonna go ahead and approve you for weight loss surgery.
Are you serious?
Yes.
But her success was short-lived. Soon after the episode had aired, Destiny's second brother shared a shocking post, grieving the loss, saying, "I'm sorry you felt you had nobody else to turn to. I'm sorry you had no other option," clearly indicating that her mental health had something to do with her death. Before her death, Destiny reportedly even sued the production company of My 600 Pound Life, claiming it did not provide the mental health treatments it promised. At one point, she was even asked to shave her facial hair on camera, which triggered a mental breakdown that escalated into her kicking the producers out of her home and threatening to kill them and herself. Fans responded with shock and sadness. That's tragic. It seems like she was finding success with her weight loss after the show. She'd been through so many heartbreaks. Despite making visible progress and dropping so much weight, Destiny couldn't make it. But the next star didn't even try. Featured on season 8 of the show, Kicia weighed well over 650 pounds and was deep into her food addiction. With her staggering weight and extreme diet, it was clear her journey was going to be tough if she were to continue like this.
I'm exhausted of this life. Living like this is not living. If I don't lose this weight, I'm going to. I know I'm going to.
Fortunately, she eventually chose to take her weight loss more seriously, exercising regularly and making healthier food choices.
But I figured it's better later than never to finally get this weight off of me and get to the healthy place I need to be.
But things took a turn when she began experiencing severe abdominal pain not so long afterwards.
I'm at the hospital waiting to get tests done because I'm having a lot of stomach pain. I've had the pain for a couple weeks now, and I'm just praying that it's nothing serious that my body can't handle. But I'm really scared it is.
Dr. Now suspected a possible intestinal blockage, but due to her size, she couldn't fit in the CT scanner, so they had to rely on x-rays, which didn't provide clear answers. Despite the complications, she was later approved for weight loss surgery. Her surgery was successful, and by the time the episode aired, she had already made noticeable progress towards a healthier lifestyle.
I'll go walk outside, just trying to challenge myself and just do better, try harder to get where I got to get to further my journey. I just push myself as far as I can push myself. That's all I can do.
But things would only go downhill from here, as not so soon after, Kicia died due to surgical complications from her weight loss surgery. Although early reports didn't specify the exact cause, McMillan said that she had been on life support and almost died following the operation. She reportedly died due to health problems. Later, her niece revealed more details about what had happened. After surgery, she never fully recovered. She spent 1.5 months on a ventilator in the ICU. She was partially paralyzed from that point until she passed. Then eventually she went to the ER, where they found that her kidneys were failing. Within a week after she was in the ICU, she passed. I am heartbroken. I wanted so badly for her to succeed, considering her horrible backstory, a fan said. Meanwhile, some criticized that she didn't try to help herself earlier, and it went to that life and death situation. Her case was tragic, but it wasn't the last. And although there isn't any reported death in season 9 of the show, Larry Meyers, also known online as Buttermilk Biscuits from season 10, met a similar fate not long after his episode aired. Larry had once gone viral for his gospel-style singing video about food, which earned him his nickname, but his health was no laughing matter.
I have asthma, sleep apnea, thyroid problems, and I take medication for depression, because even food isn't enough to completely comfort me anymore.
When he joined My 600 Pound Life, his peak weight was 940 pounds and ended up losing 700 pounds after undergoing weight loss surgery. However, it wasn't long before he regained all the weight. This was because he constantly struggled with emotional eating and found it hard to stay consistent with his meal plans and physical activity. However, despite being given the opportunity to turn his life around, his progress was slow, and at times, even Dr. Now questioned Larry's commitment.
You have had weight loss surgery.
Yes.
And you have done everything to defeat the purpose of that. You had lymphedema taken off your leg. You had done everything to bring that back up. So you got all the tools that you needed given to you in the past, and you didn't use it right, and everything that you have done is being self-destructive. So why are you doing that?
Just over a year after his episode aired, Larry passed away at the age of 49. According to reports, he died from a heart attack just days after celebrating his birthday. Larry's death didn't happen during filming, but it still added to the growing list of former cast members whose health declined after the camera stopped rolling. Like LaTonya Potan, who looked like she wasn't up for losing any weight right from the start. LaTonya appeared on season 11 of the show, and she was one of the few participants who didn't just fail to lose weight, she actually gained more during the program. Despite being so large, LaTonya struggled with her food addiction and untimely cravings. One scene showed her eating what viewers estimated to be over 6,500 calories for a single breakfast. And it wasn't a one-time thing. One viewer mentioned, "I estimated 6 waffles. It still came out to 6,534 calories for one meal." Despite Dr. Now's warnings, and after a full month of trying and then binge eating, LaTonya gained another 4 pounds, and by the end of the 5 months in the program, she had gained 11 pounds in total, reaching 636.
Tell me why you gained the weight.
I gained, 4 pounds because basically I gotta try harder. This is something new for me. I've been eating unhealthy for so long, and like now, trying to change it is it's a lot.
She frequently clashed with Dr. Now, making excuses for her lack of progress and refusing to acknowledge the severity of her condition.
You think I want to come here, drive out in a long time, come here just to get chewed out? I could have stayed at home for that.
We're not chewing out. We're giving you the reality.
That is a reality. I mean, and you saying all that just to say, well, you know your fat ass need to lose weight. You in a wheelchair. You 37 years old. If you keep going the way you're going, you're not going to make it. That's basically all you have to say.
And at this point, she was digging her own grave. What's even worse is how LaTonya continued her eating habits despite gaining so much weight and having so many appointments with Dr. Now.
I don't think fried food is a good option for you.
I won't eat a whole lot just to taste,
And even being confronted by him about her weight, to which she gave lame excuses and never a clear answer.
I think most of your problem is your weight, okay? So the most important thing for you is that you need to lose some weight, okay?
I'm trying.
You keep saying you're trying, but you're running out of time.
But LaTonya's situation only went downhill from there as she started experiencing health problems, specifically related to her heart.
I am concerned about her heart. Some of the tests are a little concerning, and I want to address that. Some of the tests show that her heart may be struggling a great deal right now.
Viewers were rather critical of her behavior, with one commenting, "This woman is just a huge waste of time. This is so frustrating to watch since she's wasted Dr. Now's time for 2 episodes. She wants to lose weight, yet will not stop eating."
I haven't really eaten nothing since I've been here.
You're not gonna fade away. You're gonna be fine.
I still have to eat something.
No. Eating the food that belongs to the next 4 years ahead of time.
In 2024, LaTonya posted a GoFundMe pleading for help. She revealed she currently weighs about 705 pounds and has been bedridden since June 2024 due to severe health issues. But her situation only got worse. Given her ignorance about her weight and her intense eating habits, it's not shocking that in May of 2025, LaTonya passed away, with sources claiming the cause of her death to be congestive heart failure. She's one of the few people I've seen who never loses any weight on the show. Dr. Now doesn't even go through with her weight loss surgery. It is such a shame since I was really hoping to see her transformation. Now, if you like my videos, please subscribe or watch my similar videos here.